I'm back, very chatty lately, so thanks for bearing with me. And today I want to talk about something that I think affects everybody, whether you have a diagnosis or you don't or whatever. It's just part of the human condition, and that is that this underlying feeling we have of unworthiness, of not being good enough, of not loving ourselves in a genuine sense. And I just think it's part of the human condition that we suffer from this. And we do suffer. It is a suffering. If you, I believe, truly learn to love yourself for what and who you truly are, that suffering is impossible. So easier said than done, right? Because we live in a society that tends to remind us at every available opportunity where we're not good enough. Women, especially, of course, my experience in this lifetime is as a woman, so I can identify with this more. You know, our hair is never right. It's either too curly, too straight, the wrong color, the wrong style. We're short, we're too short, we're too tall, our thighs are too big, our noses may not be perfect, our skin is not clear enough, our teeth are not white enough, our eyes are not big enough, or maybe they're too big, or they're the wrong color. Our feet are too big. Let's see, what have I left out? I don't know. There's all kinds of things, right? And every time we pick up a fashion magazine or go to certain blogs or Pinterest pages, we're reminded of our not enoughness. But this is not only geared toward women, right? Men have to be a certain height. They have to be strong. They have to have hair in some places, but not in others. And they can't show their feminine side about anything. They can't show emotion. They can't, they just always have to be stoic and act in a certain way. So we're all being prompted, reminded, and prodded into being something that we're really not. And I'm talking about this, of course, from a physical standpoint, even though we are not physical beings. We have these physical bodies during this lifetime as vehicles to help us express ourselves. But our bodies are not who we are. They are just part of the package for this life. So if we can remember who we truly are, that is that we are eternal spiritual beings of light, then that makes it a little bit easier to ignore the messages that tell us from a physical perspective that we are not enough, because then we don't identify with the body as much. So that is not to say that we are not to care for and nurture our bodies in this lifetime. As I mentioned, they are our divine vehicle for our expression in this life, and they deserve to be nurtured and loved and pampered. We need to get enough rest and eat nutritious foods. But instead of continually, every time we pass a mirror, berating ourselves on what's wrong with them, maybe we need to remind ourselves about how many things they do without us even thinking about it to keep us alive, and to work toward regaining health if we seem to have lost it, and to maintaining it if we have it. So you're not thinking about breathing, but you are, and you don't have to think about digesting the food that you eat, but your body does it without any kind of conscious help on your part, usually. There's only we tend to think about the functioning of our bodies only when it's not working properly. So I think whatever we can do to help keep that happening, by eating nutritious food, by getting rest, by getting exercise, by expressing ourselves physically in the way that feels best to us. We mentioned finding your joy in an earlier video, and that is, if you want to dance, dance. If you want to sing, sing. If you want to paint, paint. If you want to go out and ride your bike, do that. Do stand-up paddleboarding. Go take a walk in the woods. Go, whatever makes your body feel good, is expressive to you, do that. Don't punish your body through exercise. Love your body through exercise. So I promise you there's something out there that feels good to you, and that's what you need to do. This thing about worthiness and about loving yourself. So I'm going to give you two ideas today. One is in this video, and then another is a link to something else that I find very beneficial to me. The first is mirror work, and mirror work was introduced to me anyway by Louise Hay, who wrote You Can Heal Your Life, you can heal your body. She's written a lot of books. She's the founder of Hay House, and she's probably, one of the originators of the self-love movement, which I love. And this is a really old version of this book. I keep buying old copies at bargain bookstores and giving them to friends. So this is my remaining copy right now. But mirror work. If you've never done mirror work, you're going to be really surprised at how you feel when you do it, I think. Because most of us, we're conditioned when we look in the mirror to look for our faults and our flaws. And that is not what this is about. So this is your assignment. Preferably when you're alone, because this is a pretty personal thing. You'll get better at it, and then you can do it in front of anybody, and it doesn't matter. But when you're alone, I want you to stand in front of a mirror and look yourself in the eye and tell yourself that you love yourself. And say the words out loud. So, for instance, I would say, I love you, Elisa. I really, really love you. And I accept you just the way you are. You're perfect. I want you to do that. And I think that you'll be surprised at the feelings that come up when you do that. A lot of people can't even look themselves in the eye except to fix their eye makeup. And I think that a lot of people, when they first do it, they either can't get the words out or they can't get the words out without crying. And so I want you to do this in private. If you're brave enough, I want you to come back here and comment below the video and tell me what happened when you did it. And I want you to do it on a regular basis. I want you to do it in the morning when you wake up, after you brush your teeth, while you're standing in front of the mirror anyway. And at night before you go to bed, after you brush your teeth, while you're standing in front of the mirror anyway. If you can do it more than that, even better. But do it for a few days straight and let me know how things change for you, because they will. And if you get to the point where you can actually say the words, I love you, and your name, and you want to add some other stuff to be your cheerleader, even better, I love you, and it was so cool the way you handled that incident at work today. You didn't get ruffled. You stayed calm. That was really awesome. You did great. I love you, and I'm so proud of you for going to the gym today. I love you, and you know what? You ate only nutritious food today. Good for you. Or, I love you even though you ate the big bowl of ice cream. You're still cool. It's all good. We're going to do better tomorrow. And you know what? Maybe we deserved a little treat. I want you to talk to yourself as your number one fan, your number one cheerleader. I want you to talk to yourself as you would your child, who you love, regardless of anything, right? And you are, in a sense, your child. You're God's child. You're God's child. And if you believe in a perfect God, I do. If you believe in a God who is only love and light and only perfection, and I do, and you believe that you are created by that light, that love and perfection, and I do, then how can you be anything but that? You can't. So, regardless of what society or religion or your parents or a teacher or anyone else who you feel is in a position of authority to know has told you, I promise you, you are worthy. You are lovable and you are perfect. And why are you worthy? You are worthy by virtue of your being. That's it. You don't have to do anything, no matter what you may have done or not done, no matter what you may do or not do. You are worthy and you are enough. And you are worthy because you were created by the one who created everything. You were created by perfection. And the creation is never separate from the Creator. So by your perfection is your divine birthright. That's it. At your core, at your essence. Now, this does not mean that you got like stuff going on with the ego fighting you and telling you lies and 3D reality pretending to be, pretending to be real and getting in the way. That's, we'll talk about that later. But at your core and at your essence, you were created by perfection as perfection. And you deserve to be loved as God loves you. And you know what? Loving yourself is loving God. You can't have one without the other. You cannot love who you truly are and not love God. And you cannot purport to love God and not love who you are. Why? Because that is the one who created you. And his creations are perfect. So do that mirror work. The other thing that I want to leave you with, there's a link in the first comment below to it's energy healing work. There's a woman named Eileen Day McCusick who does something called biofield tuning. She actually wrote a book called Tuning the Human Biofield, which is really fascinating. I love it. She uses tuning forks to move energy. This is not sound healing in the way that you may be familiar with it, where it's actually, and sound healing I do believe in, it does work. This is a little bit different. She uses the forks to actually move energy within the human biofield, which is this field of energy that encompasses each of us. And the stuff is kind of hanging out there in the biofield. She uses the fork to move the energy back to where it belongs in alignment with your core essence. So all this fragmented stuff that's hanging out there, I know it sounds really hippie-fied, woo-woo, weird stuff, but I promise you, it feels great. There's something to this. And so it's funny. I was thinking, I woke up this morning with this thought of worthiness and self-love. And I've participated in, she does these distance healing sessions, which are phone calls basically, where she uses the fork and speaks over it and talks about what she's doing and the energy that's being moved and what's being transmuted and healed. And I always feel wonderful after these calls. And I've done many of them in the past year or so. And these calls are normally done in a 3-part series with 1 call per week for 3 weeks. And it's like $40 for 3 calls. I mean, it's like she's giving this away. Really, she really is. And this one, we really are. I've gotten her approval to put the link in this video for you. And so if you want to click on it, it's an hour-long call. Put in your earbuds. You can do it before bed. Do it when you're not going to be disturbed, when you can relax and listen to it, and see if it resonates with you. If it's not your thing, totally cool. I get it. It's maybe not for everybody. I happen to love it and it works for me, which is why I wanted to share it with you today, because maybe it will work for you. So that's 2 things that you can do starting today to learn to love yourself. Mirror work, and then listening to this call to help move some energy. And if the call resonates with you, you can go to her website, biofieldtuning.com, and all of her current and future, the next month's classes are going to be listed there. Next month's calls are going to be listed there. And then previous calls are also there. So if you've missed something, and there's a call series that resonates with you, you can buy those as well. They're digitally delivered. If you're not available at the time of the live call, she sends out the recording literally like 5 minutes after the call is over. So you can listen to it whenever you want to, and again and again. It's a wonderful gift, I think. So 2 things, all right? Mirror work in the call, and we're going to practice loving ourselves, right? Because the world needs more love. And the only way that the world is going to be more love-filled is if we are more love-filled. And the only way that we can do that is to learn to love ourselves first. Okay? So, I love you, and you need to learn to love you.